So I'm having a little bit of a hard time naming this one. Enchantress Omniscience. So I tested a couple different builds yesterday. This one went well, the other one didn't. So I tested a version that's playing Leyline Binding and Sithis, and a few extra white cards like Stony Silence in the sideboard. That mana felt really clunky here, but let me talk about this on a bit more of a more Omni Chantress. Okay, that's better. Thank you, chat. With the idea and the name. Okay, so someone in the chat yesterday said, Spike, what if you tried to Shifting Woodland Omniscience in the Enchantress shell? I think that this is a pretty good idea where you get to play either Sithis or Eidolon of Blossoms, Enchantress Presence, these cards that allow you to draw a ton of cards over and over again. So if you combine this with the Shifting Woodland Omniscience tech, you get to draw your entire deck pretty often. And what's cool to me about this is there's two main things that I really like about this. One, you don't care that much about the graveyard hate and storm hate because you're still just an Enchantress deck. Two, Sanctum Weaver lets you just hard cast Omniscience too if your opponent has a lot of graveyard hate. I hard cast Omniscience I think twice yesterday off of Sanctum Weaver, which is pretty cool to just have this a secondary way to cheat it into play. So when I was looking, so that's kind of what I liked about the deck yesterday when we were having the thoughts on it. And so I went to build it yesterday. I started off with Leyline Binding and Sithis. And I ended up not liking the mana there. I'm not liking it too much. But also, I was really struggling with the question, what should the win condition of this deck be? What should the win condition of our Omniscience Enchantress build be? Because, of course, you like the idea of if we can get Omniscience in play and we play a bunch of Enchantresses, we get to draw our whole deck. How do you win the game? The usual win condition for Enchantress, Destiny Spinner, doesn't really work with Omniscience, where that is a card that has an activated ability 4 mana, turn your land into a creature. This is just not going to be a very reliable way to win because you need to have a bunch of mana. So I looked at every single legal modern enchantment, as I often do in these kind of situations, and I landed on a card we've played pretty dang recently, Seismic Assault. So the win condition here is you draw your deck, and then you Seismic Assault your opponent for lethal. You also have some extra Sealifiers to finish your opponent off if you need some extra damage, which I found to be pretty nice. And I also found this build to be better than the Naya build, or the mana was pretty bad. And then Eidolon of Blossoms is a little bit nicer than Sithis for a couple of reasons. Drawing a card off itself has been good, but also just the fact that it can be in play in multiples is really important for your Omniscience turns. Getting multiple Enchantresses is a big deal for whatever that's worth. And the mana's a lot better. You get to play more Surveil lands, and you also get to cast Seismic Assault more often in this build, which I think is really nice. Where it's just kind of good to cast also if you're just doing the normal Enchantress thing of drawing a lot of cards, just controls the board, deals a lot of damage, which I've liked. And then we have one Destiny Spinner, one Emrakul for backup win conditions if we feel like this is going to be a bit fragile to hate cards. What else? Looting and Fables are discard outlets for Omniscience. Commune with the Gods is an extra graveyard filler. Delirium. So we only have 4 types: sorcery, enchantment, creature, land. I feel like we're going to have some comments about how there is a lack of types. It has not really been a big issue for me between Rumble and Looting and Fable and Commune. You're just pretty good at and Surveil lands. You're just pretty good at filling up the yard quite aggressively. Land and land and enchantment are pretty free, and so getting a single, sorcerer and a creature is just not too difficult. All of my siblings have dyslexia or were diagnosed with dyslexia, and I was diagnosed with dysgraphia as a kid, which I think about really often. Okay, so I think I'm actually going to be going Stomping Ground with the plan to go next turn Enchantress's Presence off Shifting Woodland into Seismic Assault, Utopia Sprawl, draw some cards, and do some pinging. Unless I feel like I want to be seismicking this turn, which I kind of do think It's a bit weird though because I don't get to draw the extra cards. Yeah, let's stick to the plan. Stick to the plan. Am I still interested to work on Hollow One? Yeah, I'm interested. There's just a lot to get to, of course. Whoa, more Soul Trader combo. Second Soul Trader opponent this week. Are we dead? Or maybe sorry, second today. If they're going to unban more cards, the scheduled BNR is this month. The scheduled BNR is this month, and if they are going to unban more, they'll do it this month. It seems. Wow, that is quite the turn. Okay, we're dead. Oh, that was pretty good. Okay, we're bringing these Grafdigger's cages and the Pyroclasms, I think. Maybe not the Pyroclasms. Do you feel like they're going to bring in Surgical against me? I don't know. I think I'm cutting my Fables. Obviously, Pyroclasm, Sanctum Weaver, Eidolon has some tension. I just wanted a couple for the early game against Boros. Yeah, I think there's just a bit too much tension. Because like these cards die against Boros a lot, so the Pyroclasms are like less of a problem. But in this matchup, they're not going to die that much. Any thoughts of playing Leyline of Sanctity? Not like could you sell me on it? Like I know Burn is kind of popping back up, and it'd be good against this deck. Feels like it's good against like the more fringe stuff still. Let's mulligan the 7. Hand's a lot better. Since turn 1 Delirium. Sandbag your development in Pyro game 3. Yeah, maybe. On the draw, it seems like it could be better too. Well, we don't necessarily want to discard the Eidolon of Blossoms because we want an Enchantress post Omniscience. So yeah, we can flash back the looting potentially. Max with the 35 months. Thank you. Welcome back. And discard this if we need to. But I think we want to... Okay, cool. Do you just cast Omni with Weaver? Yeah, you do that or you Shifting Woodland the Omniscience. Get ready to rumble. Grist, Woodland, Spymaster's Vault Tower. This tells us that they have White of the Reliquary in their deck, by the way. Okay, so we want to leave the Eidolon and the Blossoms now for Delirium. We'll take the land to let us activate the Omniscience. And I think I'm actually just flashing back looting. I could play out the Seal of Fire if I was really scared of getting comboed, but I think I want to keep the enchantments in my hand to draw a bunch of cards next turn. They did choose this Phyrexian Tower, which is kind of scary. Well, that one's pretty good. But, of course, this is, I think, a big selling point of this build, is that when your opponent does that, you... oh, sorry, I guess... No, I need to do it this way. When your opponent does that, you just kind of pivot into normal Enchantress in these kind of hands. Oh, the Cash Grab would have given us the 4th type, right? Okay, Dredger's Insight. Milling over 2 Soul Traders. They choose to pick up Swamp and then cast a Soul Trader here. Attacking me for 3. So we don't know any card in their hand, right? Might want to kill this before they untap too. Looks like I can cast both seals now. Ooh, a Sprawl is really nice. Yeah, then the Seismic Assault can probably do some work for us next turn. I think this game is doing a pretty good job of showcasing what we're trying to do here. We are presenting the turn 4 combo kill, and they interact with me, and then this is my rebuild. And maybe we'll sell some people on the Seismics. Although we may also just Omniscience next turn with the looting in our hand. Is Dredger's Insight really a good card? Am I being gaslit? It's fine. It's like, think about, is Malevolent Rumble a good card? It's basically the same thing with different upside. Instead of making a spawn token, you have the upside of every time you Gravecrawler, you gain a life, and it lets you combo kill. It lets you combo kill even if your opponent is at a much higher life total than you, which is a problem for this archetype in general. Okay, they find a Marionette Apprentice, which I think just kills me. They just sack the Trawler. Yeah, oh my gosh. Great draws. Pretty sad. I agree that Malevolent Rumble is better than Dredger's Insight, but think about what I'm responding to. I'm responding to someone going, is Dredger's Insight a playable card, a good card, really? I don't see it. And so I'm trying to help someone understand how you would put Dredger's Insight into your deck. It has the same ETB effect as Rumble, and both of them have an upside beyond that. One makes a spawn, and which I do think is better, and the other one gives you access to infinite life combos, which is also, I think, very good. So just think about what I'm responding to here, maybe. So we have an Emrakul on the board. Speak of the Rumble. I think this matchup is probably unwinnable game one. Weird matchup so far. Why not keep the Seals? At instant speed, it can kill 2x the damage part of the combo. That might have been the better line. My thinking was that they had 2 Gravecrawlers in their yard. In fact, we actually had to do it this way because they could have just gained infinite life with the Dredger's Insight and double Gravecrawler with the Warren Soul Trader, which we couldn't beat. Draw on card with Presence if you were something at least, even though Rumble's better. Well, and they drew 3 off the Visions. In this deck, Presence does not get enchantments back, so I don't think it's even a consideration, weirdly enough. Okay, Emrakul, time to come to work. I think we're gonna bring in Destiny Spinner also, and probably not Blood Moon and just be 62. Time to come to work, Emrakul. And it's pretty good if we surveil into a land. Let's mulligan, I think. I always bring in Seals for Bridge. Well, we can kill with Seismic Assault. I also, do we think based on that game my opponent's bringing in Snaring Bridge? Not sure I understand. I haven't seen this deck play out yet. I think you do understand. The card Dredger's Insight cannot put an enchantment from your graveyard into your hand. So this is not a card you can consider playing in this deck. Keeping any card on top here, of course. It's not that you understand. I believe in you. Ever thought about Agent into Visions? It's a lot worse than Agent into Footfalls. Okay, so we get to go Eidolon into Fable here. If they counter this, I guess we go Rumble. But if they had Drown, I would have thought that they would have already killed this. Let's hope we don't draw the Emrakul. Although if we do draw it, I guess we can discard it to Fable, which is nice. All right, do they have a surgical? They draw 3 in response, looking for 1, but they don't have 1. Nice. 4 enchantments in play here. I think I'm just going to discard both Rumbles, which is kind of weird. But it's like, I just want to set myself up to hardcast Omniscience next turn. And like Rumble feels a little bit weird isn't the right word, but it's the word that's coming to my mind. Why not Rumble plus another Sanctum? I feel like getting the Fable down is a bit more important, but if you disagree, you know, let me hear I'd hear you out. How many enchantments do we have? We'll just tap the Weaver for red and then find out, I guess. It could be bad. See if we draw a Faithless Looting. Definitely want to play a Fable to discard the Emrakul next turn if we don't. Okay, didn't draw that many lands either. Does not seem like... It seems like playing the Seal of Fire might just deck me instead of doing anything else. So let's, you know, just chill. Although I guess if we don't get milled out, we probably should choose to cast the Emrakul instead. I think that might work. I think both are game-winning lines. Should we have discarded Emmy to hand size? Oh, I guess we could have done that. Right. Let's just draw 2. Cast the Emrakul and go to game 3. Seems fair to me. Rest of this Destiny Spinner. Did Bowmaster become less playable with Ring Band? Yeah. Bowmaster was always kind of dependent on how popular the ring was. I think Bowmaster is becoming a little bit more popular between Ketchamos and the like Hollow Index, like a little bit more popular, but yeah, just not seeing a lot of play. I do really like having double Commercial District. I think again I should just mulligan this one lander though. Mulligan a worse one lander, I suppose. Having Shifting Woodlands is quite good. Let's keep it. Let's put back. It's like looting Rumble. Like, yeah, I think the Fable is kind of nice. My mill friend bringing to RC cut Visions of Beyond for Preordain because of Relic and Frog Exile Graveyards. I would definitely not play Preordain. Surely there's other cards you could play in that spot instead, like more Drowns or Interaction or more mill. I don't know. Can you make Woodlands copy Emrakul? You can. It's kind of hard for that to be super effective. Because like you would have to have Woodlands in play, discard Emrakul, then copy it. So that it can happen. It can be kind of difficult for that to be particularly effective. With Bowmaster on the downfall, would I work on the Defender deck with the 15 card turtle? Maybe. I did like the Defender deck. I've been thinking about it a little bit with Green Sun Zenith. When does Unban talk begin, since we're getting close to announcement date? I mean, we're still like almost 4 weeks away. Okay, they have not milled an Omniscience for me yet. But we could talk about it, you know. Not forbidden. Brant with the 35 months. Hope you're doing well. For some reason, I'm feeling like the Emrakul's getting milled here. I would like to see Birthing Pod unbanned. Not going to Charlotte. I don't really play RCs anymore. RCQs. Okay, we have an Omniscience milled now, which is cool. We even have the option to... I guess I don't have an Enchantress milled. Now I do. How does this deck win after it cheats Omni into play? Seismic Assault. You draw your deck with all your Enchantresses, and then you Seismic Assault, discard all your lands. I drew an Omniscience. Copy Enchantress's presence. If they have a surgical, this is what I want them to surgical. Bait Biscuit, the 39 months. Thank you. Welcome back. So yeah, I didn't want to target the Omniscience because if they have a surgical, then they get the Omniscience out of my hand, and I can just do this. Yeah, I've definitely cast some Omnisciences in hand, or from my hand recently. Okay, so they target this Shifting Woodland. Do I get a land? I don't think I get the land. So we do have an Emrakul in our deck. Can you not copy in response to surgical? Oh, I guess I could, huh? So a little bit worried about Tasha's now. Your turn. Kind of hoping to hit the Emrakul. All right, still no Emrakul in the top 45. Pretty risky for them to cycle this if they have the Tashas. Emrakul! Okay. Such a weird game. I think we do loot both of these away. All right, let's cast Rumble, trying to mill over the Emrakul. Okay, that didn't work. Oh, whoops. I forgot I don't have an Enchantress in play. So the problem is if I put a draw spell on the stack now. If I put a draw spell on the stack. Also, did I have the Destiny Spinner in the yard? No, that's somehow in the deck too. Yeah, if they could just mill me in response, I just lose now, right? Oh no, because the Emrakul gets milled. Never mind. They're going to consign the Emrakul trigger? Is that something that they do now? All right, is Emrakul the last card of my library? It's not. Yeah, I didn't mean to go to combat earlier. I'm going to go ahead and copy an Enchantress's presence, though. If you have one card in hand, is it not better to cast the Emrakul? Well, we lose to them having a mill spell underneath the Shellduck Isle, right? Okay, they extirpate my Enchantress's presence. I think we're going to win this one, though. Oh, copy the Emrakul. I accidentally went to combat here. I accidentally clicked OK. And they, have the surgical anyways. Have I tried Monument of Endurance with Waste Not? I haven't. That could be something. I'm not the biggest Waste Not believer, to be honest. All right, so we could win with the reflection combo. Haven't done that in a while, but let's also just win with this. Don't love this hand because of the tap land, but we're definitely going to keep. So Resurgent Belief gets back the enchantments you graveyard with this plan. I feel like it won't work as well in practice them imagining. Yeah, I thought about it. I've been burned too much by Resurgent Belief. And I think you kind of don't want to go like super all in on the graveyard stuff. Like I think Shifting Woodland is about as in as I want to be, where it's like it costs us playing Woodland, which is not much of a cost, and it costs us having Omniscience in deck, which is definitely more of a cost. But it's not that big a deal to have Omnisciences in the deck when you can cast them with Sanctum Weaver. But once you start adding Resurgent Belief, like your plays are so telegraph, and then Graveyard Hate is more effective than it already is. But I think a big selling point, to me at least, for this deck is that Graveyard Hate is not that effective against us. I guess we play around Harbinger. I actually discard the Sanctum Weaver. It's a little bit weird. What I like about this is that this gives me Delirium, and I actually have Shifting Woodland. So I might be able to set up a board where I just have a ton of enchantments into play, and I can Shifting Woodland the Weaver and make a ton of mana. I'm playing against Mill again, twice in a row. This has been a really weird day between double Soul Trader combo, double Mill, and blue-white control. Maybe I should have just conceded, because like we just kind of can't win game one anyways. Yeah, I should have conceded in response, but let's just move on. Is the meta healing? I think the meta's pretty fine, yeah. It's okay. Yeah, Mill's been on a bit of an uptick. Yeah, I think Mill's fine against black-white, and then it's great against Breach, and then it should be quite bad against Boros. Would be my impression. Curious why they knew what to surgical. Yeah, I don't know. You can never exactly understand what's going on in the mind of a Mill player. There's an Omniscience in the yard. They have Fatal Push, maybe? Maybe Extirpate. Yeah, back-to-back Mill. I'll cast the Looting. Just one Enchantresses when I copy Omniscience next turn, is assuming that works, though, because they're kind of acting like they had an Extirpate. How many surgical does Mill run usually? I don't know if it's super stock for any numbers, but I would think it's like, I think it's like 3 main and then a few more on the sideboard, like between Extirpates and surgical. Okay, they're targeting Sanctum Weaver again. They must have another surgical? Would it be reasonable to put Emrakul in the main in case you need to have enough lands versus life gain? I think game 1 it's pretty rare, especially with the Seal of Fires, that you don't have enough lands. Like I played against Boros and won like pretty easily. So I wouldn't be too worried about it. Alright, just mill things. Just mill things. Not enough Omniscience payoffs, says the chatters. Oh, they were right. Why do I get so cocky like that? All right. One anyways. That's pretty cool. Do you have any hot takes on how you build a mill deck? Yeah, I don't have any like super strong opinions on mill. If I did, I would play it. You know, like we play Burn today. If I have an opinion on an archetype, we'll play it. But you know, nothing for it at the moment. I don't think this is the same opponent, especially because they're like playing worse. Yeah, just never mulligan, turn one sprawl. Oh, we also won that game without showing. Oh, they saw the Emrakul in their surgical meme. Draven, thank you for the resub. Appreciate you, homie. Good to see you. I do think this one's pretty cool. It was a good chat suggestion to build this. I'm pretty surprised I ended up on green red over like Sithis Leyline Binding, but this build has definitely felt better. Land? Okay. Not a great turn. No surgical, no surgical, no surgical. Well, this is going to be a tough one. How did Burn do? We 4-1'd our first league. I was 3-0 off stream, and then we finished the league with 4-1, and then I lost a match and decided to pivot over here, so we'd have time for this today. So nothing too crazy on the mill front. Okay, let's just top deck a Shifting Woodland. I think that's about all we can do here. Only have 2 in the deck. Oh my gosh! Thank you, Clothis. You don't want to see me play it out? I guess not, huh? All right. We beat. Should you be playing a Stomping Ground? We have Stomping Grounds. I got Forest there because they're playing Field of Ruin. Okay, on the play against someone who was last playing Boros, just never mulligan, turn one sprawl. Esther did play the piano during the 24-hour stream. Untapped land off the top would be pretty good. MTGO Premium! Let's go. I think I lead on the Fable. Definitely an option to go for like Enchantress's presence into Seismic Assault. What would it take to make ninjas playable? Playable cards mostly. I'll be right back. Okay, let's loot away third Fable and a looting. Cash grab looking for Shifting Woodland mostly, but any land would be a grab here. We'll take any land. Seal of Fire. It's a pretty fast Flage. I'm a little bit worried about Arena of Glory, how fast they cast that one. Don't know what we can do about it. Probably not that much. I think I'm graveyarding this. It would let me draw a card with the presence, though, so maybe it would be a bit of a fine card to keep on top. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like we're getting arena'd. We're not dead. We're going to 2. Feels like almost like a free top. Yeah, I think so. We should have kept it. So down to 2. Gonna have to get pretty lucky here. Yeah, I think I actually keep that and just try to like draw Omniscience Woodlands, which is pretty specific, but could get the job done. Okay, so now if we can mill over Omniscience and find Woodlands off the Rumble, we can combo off. Found the Woodlands. No Omniscience in the top 23. Game 2. Alright, so yesterday I boarded in the Pyroclasms and I cut my Commune with the Gods. They're now cash grabs. I'm also not sure if I want extra win con or not. When I played this matchup, I actually got my Seismic Assaults surgicaled, but they kept a 1-lander and I was able to win anyways. You know, maybe the Fable's the weak link. Fable's just not any good against them, right? For extra win con, I feel like I don't need it to be Emrakul. I think I can afford the more versatile or just higher quality Destiny Spinner. And then maybe I play 1 Seal of Primordium. Maybe I don't. Let's play 1 Fable. I think we keep this. I think keeping this with the looting is going to be better than mulliganing. Does the deck make infinite mana? It doesn't make infinite mana, no. So like Sanctum Weaver is it's good against counterspell decks, and then you can theoretically win the game with it, but it's not like we just have like a infinite mana combo now. I kind of want to just rumble here. I think I'm going to resist that instinct and play a Sanctum Weaver instead. Like, I don't know how many Galvanic Discharges my opponent still has in post-board. It's possible this card's just pretty good against them. Maybe this, if they have Thraben Charm, they kill this instead. Okay, Prismatic Ending. Get a cat. Alright, so let's rumble. Miss on the land. That's bad. Maybe I was hoping too hard to draw a Shifting Woodland. It needs to be more realistic in the top decks. So it feels like they're holding up Thraben Charm. Land would be good to go Presence into Seal of Fire, maybe. Exile my graveyard. Okay, graveyard exiled. Shifting Woodland. Oh, last Omniscience. That's pretty good. Let's go. I need to find a land at some point. Let's looting here. Okay, cool. All right, then we discard the Eidolon of Blossoms for Delirium. And then we'll play Fable. Funny how we found all 4 Omniscience before the first Fable, and funny how that seems like it's just good for us this game. Thanks, Strange. Hope you have a good day, too. Thanks for popping in. All right, so we probably just need to find Shifting Woodland. We have got 3 looks. There's 4 in the 39. Not the worst odds. They have Kitty's Blessing? I think they do. So we also have Pyroclasm we could draw. So 6 cards, 3 looks. Seal of Fire not really doing anything. Just discard these 2 probably. Looks like I think Rumble into Woodland is just too little mana. Yeah, just 1 mana short. Okay, tough game. Finish up the league. We'll do at least 1 more after this. Pretty hand. Let's keep. Can maybe get some Boros Revenge here. Prismatic Ending could be Orzhov. Also played the Orzhov matchup last night. Felt pretty okay. Is Orzhov. I think it's probably better than Boros just because they're a good deal slower. They have more interaction though. Okay, so we'll take the Eidolon. Faithless Looting would be something that would let us Omniscience next turn. Is Utopia Sprawl the best non-land ramp in Modern now? I think it's been the best non-land ramp in Modern for a long time. What's this? Overlord? Which Enchanter, Emperor of Bones, Ketramos are their options here. They choose the Witch Enchanter, and then they play Temple Garden, which has become kind of stock to apparently steal Haywire Mites with Emperor of Bones, and more so to Prismatic Ending X equals 3 to exile Ketramos. So if I graveyard this, I could draw Looting to combo. If keeping it's probably just good to like fight through interaction. Not really much we need to. Maybe we would want to kill Emperor of Bones with Seal of Fire. I think that would be the case if the Witch Enchanter was still in the yard. I don't really care if they throw a Ketramos at me. We also do have the Sanctum Weaver in the yard, so in theory we could copy it with Shifting Woodland to make a bunch of mana. We're a little bit, in practice, we're a little far away from that actually being a line, I think. This is a fine turn for us, though. Faithless Looting would be still the best. Take that. Get to Surveil again. Oh, sorry. It's a little F6 there with the Seal of Fire, and I on F6 like literally a second too late. Although it doesn't really end up changing anything, because if I go Seal of Fire, the Witch Enchanter, they just ephemerate in response, so not actually any different there. But definitely a little bit of a mistake. Ketramos, Solitude, Emperor of Bones. They choose the Solitude, which I think I'm pretty happy about. Draw another copy of Omniscience. So I think I need to bait the Witch Enchanter on the Enchantress's presence instead of the Fable, since I need the Fable loot really badly. Okay, I guess I don't need it that badly anymore. Let's hold the looting though. I really don't want to just tell my opponent they're getting Omniscience next turn because they might prioritize like a Boggart Trawler. I would prefer them to prioritize like maybe just interacting with me, right, in a different axis. Alright, they mill a Relic, a Fatal Push, and a Plains, and another Relic. They return Emperor of Bones. Unable to cast it seems. Do you ever discard just one Omni and cast the other? Yeah, I think that's something you want to do pretty often, actually. I can play around double Ephemerate here. I think that's probably a little much. Okay, here is another Enchantress. Pretty lucky to find one. We still have our land drop too, so a land drop could turn into another Eidolon of Blossoms. They do have the Solitude. Pitching Ketramos. So we might flashback Looting here. We'll see what we draw into. We did go through a lot of our Enchantresses already. Yeah, I think we just flashback the Looting now. This may actually be a game where we are too low on lands. They're at 14. It should be okay. Should be okay. I do have another Seismic Assault in my deck. I don't know that I really need this. I feel like I probably am actually better off just taking the other Seal of Fire. Might be good to hold one, but I also think they don't have an Ephemerate, so I want to kill this and get in with my Shaman and keep my Shaman around. Certainly an interesting game. So they do have the Trawler, so this will stop me from woodlanding an Eidolon next turn. Flashing back a Looting. They flip over an Overlord. We draw an Enchantress's Presence, which we can certainly not discard. I get really punished for playing out both Seal of Fires. Maybe that's a little bit of deck and experience. We also have the double reflections coming next turn, although they're going to be able to get back Overlord and Solitude. I think I'm going to get in with my Shamans here. So if they don't have an answer to this, I imagine they pick one up here. So they stop me from doing the double reflection loop-de-doop. They do pick up Witch Enchanter. Let's block with a spawn token. They cast the Witch Enchanter. They kill my Omniscience. I draw another Presence. Okay. Oh my gosh. I keep accidentally going to combat. I need to stop doing that. Okay, so we're hoping to hit Delirium here. We do hit Delirium. I think I have to grab the Seismic Assault, though. Such a weird game. Yeah, I think we just cast the Seismic Assault, and this with double Enchantress's Presence in play. This gives us potentially some shocks in our hand here. So maybe Cold to Flicker Wisp, but then we could Woodlands. It's a cool game. They shocked themselves down to 5. Wasn't expecting them to do that. Well, gotta do this. Okay, that worked. They still have Emperor of Bones, right? So I guess now they get to go Emperor of Bones, the Seismic Assault, but and then they get an Overlord back. Such a tough game. But I still, again, I have the Seismic Assault that I can copy with Woodlands. I can copy Omniscience with Woodlands. I can't do both since I only have the one Woodlands right now. It's a very cool game. How many lands do I have left in my deck? So 3 in the graveyard. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 in play. 9. 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So I have 4 lands left in my deck. I need 3 of them to kill my opponent, of course. Or actually not that many because I have attack for 3. Unless they get back a Solitude. But they would have to have, their last card would have to be a white card. Don't we win with Fable tokens? Well, they can't attack immediately, so to say that we just win with them is a little bit presumptuous. Whatever, however you say that word. Yeah, but they did choose to get back Flicker Wisp, but I do kind of feel like that last card is another Solitude. I draw a Wooded Foothills. So one thing I could do is I could copy Seismic Assault on my turn and then Seal of Fire on their turn. I only have 3 types. So if I cast the Looting, I have Delirium. All right, let's cast the Looting, I think. Such a cool game. Okay, so now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. So now I only have 2 lands left in my deck. It's kind of a problem. This didn't feel like a really good order to draw these cards. So I can go discard Windswept Heath, Malevolent Rumble, and I'm 1 mana short of copy Seismic Assault, then copy Seal of Fire. So I think I discard my lands. I copy Omniscience. I cast the Rumble. Another land. Grab the Omniscience. I'm not sure how many Seal of Fires I have left. I think I just found maybe the last one. Okay, so this puts me to 1 card in my deck. My last card should be a land. Also, I'm mistaken about that. It should be a Shifting Woodland, right? The 4th Woodland's in play. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. So not a Woodland. Would copy Assault, deal 2 to them, double copy Shaman, attack for 6. 2 goes through with the treasures on your turn, copy the Seal of Fire for last damage. I believe we were 1 mana short of doing that earlier. I'm dropping stuff. I'm pretty sure I even talked about that earlier. Okay, is our last card a Seal of Fire? No, it's not a Seal of Fire. 1, 2. Is it 3? So if it's a Seal of Fire, we just die because we can't cast it. Very close game. Rumble is +1 mana. Yeah, but we're just 1 damage short. Oh, okay. I guess what I can do is I can upkeep, copy Seal of Fire, and kill them with it. Okay, so we draw the land. We rumble into the land, and then we attack with these. Oh, but they just get back Solitude. Ugh. It's so tough because I just can't. I have enough damage technically, but I need to use Woodland to copy a Seismic Assault on my turn and a Seal of Fire on their turn. The fact that I drew my last 2 of my last 3 lands so early was such a problem here. Can you stack Woodland transform triggers? Transform it into Assault, then change the. Oh, I guess you could. I don't have enough mana, but that's a cool line. If we did have enough mana. Yeah, but it seems so tough for them to just not get back the Solitude, right? I don't know how they ever miss that. They target 1 of my Seal of Fires, or my only Seal of Fire? Yeah, my only Seal of Fire. So I have to Woodland this now. Oh, and then I sack the Woodland and die. Okay, very close game. I think we just needed those lands to not be so high in the deck. Tough one. I played this matchup last night, and I ended up not boarding in one of the extra win cons, and I lost because of that. And then I won game 3, so I think let's just do that. Click submit, and I'm going to be right back. All right, let's go. Well, we've got a Shifting Woodland, double as Utopia Sprawl and Woodland, but just double tap land is going to have to be a mulligan. Keep this one. If you had copied Shaman tokens instead of attacking with Mirror Breakers, you may have had enough mana, 2 extra treasures. No, you can spend a mana to copy a Shaman token, and then you get a mana back. But that's spend a mana, make a mana. It's mana neutral. Unless you're talking about like the turn prior, maybe that was something we could have done. That was definitely a very tough game. I would agree that the entire time it feels like there was maybe something we could have done differently. I'm going to play around White Orchid Phantom. And then play the Eidolon next turn, I presume. We could have done the stack the woodland triggers thing if I could have afforded to copy a I can never remember the name, the Sanctum Weaver, and then hasted it to give it the enough mana to do both. I think I'm okay to not Seal of Fire yet, because I kind of want them to either commit to like playing a 3-drop or holding up Ephemerate to protect it. What can they do to me? Not really anything. If they target an enchantment, I get to draw a card. What are the odds you want to play exactly one Nexus of Fate or one Loam? Yeah, maybe you could play one Loam. It's just a bit early to determine if that's something that's how often you run into these situations. Blitz with the 58 months. Like, welcome back. Like, we have an Emrakul to like avoid this kind of spot sideboard, which I think they're going to happen more often in sideboard games. So we've been vindicated. Click red and then attach. I think once they have 4 mana, it's more important to kill this because they can just go Ephemerate plus 3-drop a bit easier. Or, I mean, maybe they can just do that. Thanks again, Blitz, for the 58. Vindicate against Eidolon of Blossoms is a funny metagame, too. So we lose our woodland. It's okay. Especially if this is their whole turn, this is okay. Yeah, I love that my opponent's drawn like Vindicate, White Orchid Phantom, Relic, and against our Shifting Woodland combo, and we're just doing pretty fine. I definitely want to split these up against the Vindicate deck. Hoping we draw a land to play a Fable this turn. Okay, did not. Get ready to rumble. Omniscience in the graveyard. I think we just take another Sprawl. We do have Delirium. Got a lot of mana. Oh, maybe Omniscience was wrong to put in the yard because we're actually pretty close to hard casting it, and they have the Relic. I think we can find another one though. Blitz with the 58, Vermis with the 22. Hope y'all are doing well. Is Seismic Assault the best win coming going off? How do you kill an opponent at a high life total? With Seismic Assault and Seal of Fires. I went through every single modern legal enchantment. I went through the idea of main decking Emrakul. Seemed like a poor choice in this Solitude heavy metagame. Emrakul on the side. I play tested it last night and I didn't have an issue comboing off. And I feel okay about this choice coming into today. Certainly not perfect. It's not like but I think it is the best win condition possible. And and like I said earlier, I was pretty excited to come into today with the tech. I thought that y'all were going to be pretty happy with the Seismic Assaults, but it seems I was wrong about that. All right, I will say it's very cool to just like kind of easily win against Vindicate, double Relic, White Orchid Phantom as our Woodland Omniscience deck. Definitely, I think that game was a strong selling point of this build. Thanks again, Blitz and Vermis. Okay, maybe some people are happy, it seems. But yeah, it just seems like Seismic Assault game 1, and then you can board in the Emrakul most sideboard games. Seems like pretty fine to me. All right, let's keep this. Opponent's on the mold to 6 on the play. Fable's back. Yeah, you can play Fable in Enchantress Shifting Woodland. Seems to be an okay spot for it. It's not too back beyond that, unfortunately. So I think I just want to graveyard this since we have a pretty good curve already, and graveyarding this can help with Delirium pretty well. Kind of close. Kind of crazy. Seismic Assault is a card that hasn't been power crept yet. Yeah, I think that they thought they were power creeping it with the Eula's influence. But they were not. They were not. Okay, so we'll take Seal of Fire. This will let me go either Fable plus Seal, hopefully for the setup for the combo, or Enchantress's Presence plus Seal. I'll do that if they like graveyard hate me here. I've seen Fable show up in Boros list. I think Fable is much worse than like any other card you could play in that spot. But yeah, people do still play it. So they vindicate my Stomping Ground. So let's not expose the fact that we have another Fable. I'm gonna go ahead and grab my last Stomping Ground here. I've got Seismic Assault in my hand and all that. Cast a Ketchamos. Cast a Overlord. I guess that's kind of it as far as like bangers for us go. Maybe like Witch Enchanter on Fable. That would be kind of perfect. Oh no, it wouldn't, because I wouldn't get to do the thing. Right, it's the loot. So they are killing my Fable. I don't get to loot the Omniscience into the yard anymore. So I guess let's just go attack with the Shaman token, cast Enchantress's Presence, cast Seal of Fire. Maybe we get got by an Ephemerate. Yeah, I thought about Starfield of Nyx. Again, I looked at every legal card. Could be okay. Every time I've cast Seal of Fire so far today, I've been trying to think about the chatter who was like that said they cut it for Unholy Heat. So far, I definitely have liked this better for whatever that's worth. But maybe they played against Oculus a lot. Could be possible to fit some number of heats in. You're saying you looked at Seance? That is the first thing I always look at when building a deck is Seance. You know, there was a time where I remember thinking to myself, like, why has Seance Guy never messaged me? Not that I would take Seance Guy's money to build a deck around Seance and push it, but like, did he give up? Like, should I be insulted that he's never reached out? You know what I mean? Like, I would have thought at some point he would have messaged me. Do they consider loams? No, but one loam could be good. One loam could be good. Yeah, I know that Zach is a big Seance gamer. So we're gonna get ephemerated here. They just target the land Witch Enchanter. Yeah, if I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna do it for free. I think I have played Seance. I feel like I have played Seance before. Don't remember it ever going well. Yeah, it seems I'm not on Seance level yet. Oh yeah, maybe. Yeah, am I the secret Seance guy? Okay, yeah, let's I think we want the Sanctum Weaver to just hardcast the Omniscience next turn, and then we can also cast Seismic Assault. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Don't have another Stomping Ground, so we save the Wooded Foothills to discard to the Seismic. I think I played Seance when Grief was legal. With the power of Moxfield. Like, Moxfield has become... I've just outsourced my brain to Moxfield. I don't need to remember what I've played. I can just go, I typed Seance in this chat, and then I misspelled Seance because it's AE instead of EA, maybe? No, that doesn't make any sense. That looks immediately wrong. But it's loading somehow? No, it is EA. Wait, is it an accent? Should I blame the French for this? Okay, so they are kind of representing the plot card. So I should... Lucy! So I should probably just looting Woodland Omniscience, right? So I have land, enchantment, creature, sorcery. And I have 4, 5... It should be plenty. What's cool about this spot too is that I can copy in response should my opponent have like a surgical or something. Opponents have not let us click through it today. All right, so we 3-2'd here. Let's run it back. Not bad for a Eidolon of Blossoms deck.